Did you enjoy the 2008 New Hampshire Liberty Forum? Would you like a cheaper, more social opportunity to see New Hampshire and meet the porcupines? Well, now's the time to make plans for PorcFest 08. We're holding it at Gunstock Mountain Resort, June 9th through the 15th. We'll be doing a lot of this, a lot of this, and a lot of this. When it's over, you'll know whether New Hampshire and the Free State Project are for you. However, Laconia Bike Week starts the week of the 14th, so campsites and hotels will likely sell out. Make your reservations today. Details are at porcfest.com under the lodging section.
All right, I'm standing here with Dan Stewart of Merrimack, who's a Ron Paul supporter involved in the recount up in Concord, the New Hampshire primary recount. And you had a new concern that you raised today, or not so much concern, but you were kind of excited about what's coming up next with regard to the towns being counted?
Well, exactly. The Secretary of State has been the one who has been selecting the towns that have been getting counted. That process involves actually sending people out with a state trooper and collecting the ballots and bringing them to Concord, and then we begin counting them. And we're, I don't know if all of you have been following Bev Harris's information or Vicki Karp's on voterescue.org and blackboxvoting.org for Bev, but there's been some issues of chain of custody that we're concerned about. And we think we've got that kind of nailed because we're actually following these guys. They call themselves Butch and Hoppy. Those are actually their nicknames. I just found out Thursday night. So, they're not deliberately obfuscating who they are, but they're not making it easy to keep track of. But the fact is that it doesn't appear that these guys are in any way nefarious in regards to interfering with an accurate representation of the voters' choices. But the situation is that the Secretary of State, in fact, has been choosing who we count. To begin with, we got to count the ones that were already counted on the Democratic side, so that those were already handled and sorted, and that was, a concern there was that, the more things are handled, the more things the less reliable it is that you're getting the straight data. Now, what's going to happen going forward is that these things are going to be put on a truck at the voting places where they store the ballots, and they're going to come to Concord, and when they get there, we're going to count them right away. If not, we're going to see that they get locked in the vault, and the chain of custody is at this point tight. At the beginning, it wasn't so tight. But
now, you were saying something about the what is special though about these towns that are about to get counted? You said they didn't really want to count them at first.
Well, I'm suspecting, now this is just off the top of my own head, that in fact there's a reason. If there's any problems with the ballots, with the vote count, that those problems are going to be the ones at the end, because just like the Democratic recount, they're hoping that we get tired and we say, oh, we're gonna, we get a refund maybe or something like that, and apply that to Ron Paul's campaign or something like that. But the fact is that maybe he's hoping that some of these don't get counted, and maybe that may be the reason that these are the ones that definitely should be counted, because they're, who knows.
PorcFest.com.
Again, we haven't found any really major, inconsistencies with what's going on. It's been explained to me about the Democratic problems that they showed, that there were human errors that had resulted in these miscounts. So actually I just reviewed a couple of the counties on the results of the recount, and Ron Paul actually lost votes just a few, but it's a disappointing thing that we're not finding more votes for Ron Paul, which who knows, we may yet. But it's probably not going to be enough to move him up a place, which would be news, I think. But in fact, I don't know what's going to happen. But if anybody wants to be involved in it, they should come with us up there for this next coming week and help us out. There's all the help we can get.
At 71 Fruit Street in Concord.
Correct.
Every weekday from 9 until
5.
With a break from 12 to 1.
Correct, yes.
All right, well, Dan Stewart, thanks so much. Anything else you want to add that I haven't asked you about that you think is important?
There is a forum on New Hampshire Underground .org or .com.
NH3.com?
No, NHunderground.com/forum.
Oh, I guess forum.nhfree.com, yeah.
And there's in the general discussions, there's one on recount, and we're trying to, there are others for black box voting and for voterescue.org and all of that. So,
all right,
there's all kinds of information gathered, and Bob Schultz has been up there also from We the People, and he's been doing some broadcasts on it and reporting, and I mean, there's a lot of focus on this, so it should be actually a pretty interesting result. Hopefully, maybe we can get rid of the electronic counting and go back to the real hand counting that we know is most accurate. Oh, that is one thing, that there have been more mistakes and more inaccuracies on the machine counted votes than there were on the hand counted votes. So I think that's a critical point of information that, in fact, we ought to be cognizant of. And one other thing is that it's really your town that is controlling how things get counted. It is not the state. I mean, I just learned this last night from a Deputy Secretary of State, Anthony, and he says, they choose the vendor for this counting machine, LHS, I guess it is. It seems interesting that all the towns would choose the same one without there being some kind of state interaction. But
it was the only one that was authorized by New Hampshire legislature. Which
okay.
That one, if they
cool. We got a little information there.
All right. Well, anyway, thanks, Dan.
You're welcome.
Laconia Bike Week starts the week of the 14th, so campsites and hotels will likely sell out. Make your reservations today. Details are at porkfest.com under the lodging section.